What's up, guys? It's your boy Yo Che Fam, and today we have to talk about what Manchester United are doing in this transfer market. As most of you guys know, Man United have now pulled out of two midfield races, the top midfielders that they've been targeting since I would say January. The two midfielders I'm naming are Mateus Fernandes and Elliot Anderson. As we can see here, guys, Mateus Fernandes has now agreed a contract with Spurs after Spurs basically won the race against Manchester United by paying 85 million euros for, was it 85 million pounds? 85 million pounds for Mateus Fernandes to West Ham with no add-ons. Personally, for me, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, sure, they can have him. They can have the player. I think isn't the fact that Man United didn't go and pay 85 million for Mateus Fernandes. It's that Man United keep putting this in our head every single time that this is the player they want, this is the player they want, and go out for the player that you want. Elliot Anderson has just signed for 116 million, guys. 116 million. He has gone to Manchester City. I would never want Man United to pay 160 million for Elliot Anderson. I personally thought the most you're paying for Elliot Anderson is 90 million, 80 million, in that range. Elliot Anderson is a good player, but in my opinion, I think having Kobbie Mainoo is already a good thing. You don't need Elliot Anderson unless you're good, unless you're paying cheaper for him. You don't need an Elliot Anderson. But Mateus Fernandes was a good player that I really wanted, and it's just so baffling that we couldn't pay the 85 million for him. But then I think about it, this guy's been relegated twice. He's a good player, but he's been relegated twice with two teams, Southampton and now West Ham. West Ham, I guess Southampton, you kind of expect them to go down, but West Ham, you didn't really expect those guys to go down. They should be in the Premier League still, but he's in a relegation team. He's relegated right now. He's in the Championship right now, but now he's just signed for 80 million from by Spurs. Like, it doesn't make sense. Personally, I think if Man United had put in a bid, and I guarantee you, I mean this strong, that if Man United had put in a bid for him, he would be a Man United player right now, today. But because Man United did not put in any bid, now look at what's happened to us. We're basically in a situation where now there's only a few midfielders that come to my mind when it comes to rebuilding. And who are the midfielders? Right now, I'm thinking the midfielders that I would want to come to Manchester United right now are between Alex Scott, Tchouameni, and if we're gonna sign another one, Buadi from Lille. I think that guy's been amazing in this World Cup, and I think he's a good player that you want to get in. For me, though, the best player that you need, especially combined with Kobbie Mainoo, has to be Tchouameni. It has to be Tchouameni. Tchouameni is generally, in my opinion, he's a perfect replacement for Casemiro. He was the replacement for Casemiro at Real Madrid. He can come be the replacement for Casemiro at Manchester United. And I'm hearing right now that they are willing to sell. So if they're willing to sell him, why not go out all out for him? For me, if you're paying 80 million to 90 million for Tchouameni, that is a very, very, very good deal. I think personally, I think that's a better deal than buying Fernandes for 85 million. And then I think Alex Scott as well. I think Alex Scott is probably going to go in that 70 million, 80 million range, because now that Mateus Fernandes has gone for 85 million, you already know Bournemouth is boosting up the price, because Alex Scott is in a team that's in the Premier League that's actually very good. I'm pretty sure they're going to Europe next year. So imagine they're going to Europe next year. Mateus Fernandes is in Championship and went for 85 million. You think they're going to allow Alex Scott to go for 60 million, 55 million? No, that's not happening. We are going to end up having to pay 70 million if we do end up getting him. Biardi is another hard one, because I don't think he'll leave in the summer. I think maybe next summer in 2027, I think he will leave. And I think if United sign at least two like decent midfielders now, with one of them being Tchouameni and another guy, I think then they will go out for Buardi maybe in the summer, but we have to check. We have to see. I think I like the signing of Ederson. I'm very, very happy with the signing of Ederson. I think he should be the third midfielder. But Mateus Fernandes for me was supposed to be the second midfielder, and Tchouameni was supposed to be the first one, or Elliot Anderson was supposed to be the first one. But the way the market is going right now, Man United have to find a way to fix this, because this is very bad. Honestly, we just lost two midfielders. Mateus Fernandes and Elliot Anderson are both gone from our team. Both are going to two basically rival teams, because Tottenham's not even a big team anymore. Like, let's not even talk about Tottenham like they're a big team, but they're a big six team. So we have to basically put them in that rivalry. So now they're going to be rivaling us for Champions League places while having players that we wanted. I'm also hearing they want to go out for Tonali as well. So if they're willing to spend this amount of money on players, we have to be willing to spend this amount of money on players too. I'm not totally against spending, like, overpaying for players sometimes, but for me, I feel like there's certain players you do overpay for. I feel like Mateus Fernandes was never going to come into Man United and be a starter, because he's not going to work with Mainoo every game. I don't see that working well every game. But he was gonna come in and be a very good player. And I do think that if we got him for 60 million, 70 million in that range, that would be nice. But now that you have to pay 85 million for a guy who might not start on your team, that's very, very bad. And I'm pretty sure that's probably why Man United didn't want to pay the 85 million. On the other hand, though, Mateus Fernandez is a very good player, and I do think he will succeed at Tottenham. We'll just have to see, right? For me, Elliot Anderson's a whole different situation because even if you guys are watching England right now, for me, Elliot Anderson's a whole different situation because I feel like Elliot Anderson, if you guys watching for England right now, he's playing like he's not having a bad World Cup. I just personally think in the situation that we're in right now, you would probably have Manu starting over Elliot Anderson for England right now because Manu can thrive in tight spaces. He can play that little pass around. Like he's that good of a player. He does what Elliot Anderson doesn't do basically. And I feel like that complements the way Declan Rice plays and the way Jude Bellingham plays. But Elliot Anderson, the only way I see him starting for England is if Declan Rice doesn't start, which also means if he was playing for Man United, it maybe would have worked between Elliot Anderson and Kobe Mainoo. We haven't seen a lot of it, so we don't know, but it maybe would have worked with him. But for me, I gotta say though, I'm just happy we didn't pay the 160 mil because I didn't want us to pay 160 mil because the moment you pay that amount for a midfielder or for a player, you're basically putting yourself in a situation where like now every single time you have to pay this amount, this amount, this amount, which isn't good. Like as a team, you don't want to put yourself in that predicament. I will say I do think he's gonna be good at Manchester City. I mean, I hope he's good at Manchester City for his own sake. I mean, except for against us. Like when they're versing us, I hope he has a stinger. That's all I care. That's all I care about. But I hope for like his career he does go well. But personally, me, I just wouldn't have paid 160 million for Ali Anderson. Especially now that Tchouameni doesn't look like he's gonna stay at Real Madrid. I generally think he leaves Real Madrid. Will he come to Manchester United is the real question, but we have to wait and see. Another thing I wanted to talk about, guys, is now they've confirmed, guys, that Marcus Rashford will be integrated back into the squad very soon, guys. Which I am very, very, very excited about, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of the people that didn't want Rashford to leave. I genuinely believe that Rashford has the ability, still has the ability to be a very good left winger for us. And last season we seen it. We only had two left wingers, Dorgu, who really got injured, and Dorgu's not really a left winger, is he? Cunha, who kind of plays more as like a center, like he kind of comes inside a lot. Like that's what his job is. He gets to cut inside, stay in that central area because he's more of like a center forward cam type of player. That's what he is, and that's okay. Like I don't mind it. It's a different aspect of what Rashford has been doing for us for years. But when you see a player like Rashford come in, who can get the width, take on players, put cross in the box, shoot the ball, probably has one of the best shots in the Premier League, finish here and there. Like you want a player like that. The only problem with Rashford coming back to Manchester United has nothing to do with his football ability, has nothing to do with his shooting ability, has nothing to do with anything else besides his wages because he's getting paid 300K a week, which, in my opinion, like Rashford, like generally I love Rashford, but 300K a week right now for Rashford is not good. Like personally, I feel like that's the only reason why Man United wouldn't keep him past the season, or wouldn't keep him past throughout the season. That's the only way I can see it happening. Do I think Rashford will leave? I don't see it happening because I don't know what team goes up for him. I'm hearing things about like Arsenal, Tottenham trying to go for him, but like for me, it's just like Rashford is a very, very good player, and I don't think we should get rid of him right now. I think he is like I generally think that he will impact this team very, very good. He doesn't even have to be a starter for me. I just think that if Rashford comes and plays for Man United, I think we have a way better team, a way better attack with a player like Rashford. And I always want to say, like, in all the seasons Rashford did good, he was always in an attack that was thriving. He was always in an attack that was thriving. So imagine this attack that's already thriving. And Mbumo, Sesko, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Cunha, all of them together in an attack, and Amad Diallo as well, on an attack that is already thriving, you are basically destined for success, especially in the Champions League. You need depth, you know. So yeah, like I'm hoping Rashford does stay for the season. Will he stay past the season? Only God really knows. I would be happy for him to stay past the season if he has a good season. So yeah, we'll see about that. For me, I think the midfield rebuild is not looking good right now. For me, it's just not looking good. I want to get Tchouameni, and I hope we do get Tchouameni. And if we do get Tchouameni, I generally think we have a way better time of succeeding this season. Um, Alex Scott would be my next best signing, I guess. Losing out Mateus Fernandez is going to hurt us, I think, a lot. And I don't, but I'm just happy we didn't pay that 85 million because that 85 million, That's crazy to me. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning into today's video. If you guys like to leave a like and comment other things you guys would like me to address during in this transfer market. Without further ado, I'll see y'all later. Peace.